hello everybody. If you've been tracking what's happening in DECT and particularly in DECT NR Plus via our social media networks, and if you haven't, why haven't you? Then you'll know that there's a great deal happening at the moment, and it's happening very quickly. In what seems like no time at all, we're already looking at the availability of hardware by way of silicon and development kits. The company driving the hardware side of this business is Nordic Semiconductor. So today I'm talking with Heidi Sollie, who's a product marketing engineer at Nordic, who can bring us up to speed with what's really happening. So Heidi, great to see you today. Where are we in the development and rollout of DECT NR Plus silicon as of today?
Yeah, so Nordic is leveraging our existing cellular product series. That's the nRF91 series in the development of DECT NR Plus hardware. And very good news, we currently have two modules that are available with support for DECT NR Plus today. That's the nRF9161 and nRF9131 system and packages. And there's also a newly third announced module, that the nRF9151 system and package that has been announced and will be released later this year. So to quickly say a few words about the nRF91 series, that is, it comes as a system in package. So it contains the system on chip, as well as a power management IC and the RF front end. So it's a tightly integrated package. And the system on chip is kind of the host here, and it contains a modem core, which is going to run the DECT NR Plus radio, and it has an ARM application processor. And the nRF9161 and 31 are both in volume production today, and there are development kits readily available through our distributors. So just get in touch with Nordic Semiconductor representatives in our sales channel if you have any questions on availability. And the three modules are completely software compatible, so you can begin development and testing on one of them, the ones that are available today, and then you can seamlessly move to any of the other modules further down in the development process. So with the question, where are we on development and rollout? It is available today. So that's the good news.
Okay, is there anything more about the development hardware that you're offering that you can tell us?
Yeah, so Nordic offers development hardware with all our product series for developers and engineers to easily get up and running with the technology. Mm-hmm. So with regard to DECT NR Plus, we offer development kits based on all our DECT NR Plus supported modules. So we have an nRF9161 development kit, an nRF9131 evaluation kit, and then there will be a 51 development kit further down the line. So these development kits have a dedicated DECT NR Plus antenna. They also have antenna connectors if you want to use an external antenna. They have breakout pins for GPIO and interfaces, and user programmable LEDs and buttons, and an onboard debugger, so for programming and debugging. And then we also offer another device, which is really interesting, which we call the Thingy91. This is a prototyping platform. So it's a bit more easy to use, the out-of-box experience. It has a battery, so it's a battery-operated, very compact platform where you can develop DECT NR Plus. You can also develop cellular applications if you want to do that. It has GNSS. It has a Wi-Fi companion IC as well as Bluetooth Low Energy. So it kind of has all our wireless protocols in one small form factor device. And then it also has a lot of sensors: temperature, humidity, motion sensors, air quality. So if you want to make a very easy proof of concept, you should definitely get this device, and you can easily get started and have something up and running really quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw Thingy at DECT World in November, so I can vouch for the fact that this is a real product, not just vaporware we're talking about here. Okay, Heidi, in addition to the hardware that we've been talking about, what support is available to developers?
So on the NR Plus side, we can give access to the physical layer, that's the bottom lowest layer of the NR Plus stack, as well as an application demo that enables a shell interface, so you can send shell commands to the modem core for testing and demoing. We also have a web interface that you can get access to, which allows bidirectional communication with an NR Plus network. So you can control the color of the LEDs on the prototyping platform through the interface, and you can also push a button on the device and see the notification come up. And we are continuously working on developing new sample applications for DECT NR+. So I would just say for everybody to stay tuned. We also worked closely with solution partners that I mentioned earlier. So developers can contact them to access a fully developed NR+ solution for different use cases. And then on a general level, I just wanted to mention some of the support that Nordic offers through our whole product portfolio. So I mentioned our NRF Connect software development kit, which is a scalable and unified SDK. It is used for building applications for all our product series, and it offers developers an extensible framework for building size-optimized software. We also provide technical support through our developer zone. It is a technical support platform and also an open forum where developers can open tickets, and they'll be put in contact with an engineer in our technical support team for assistance. So you can get your development kit today, and if you have any issues, just make a ticket on DevZone, either public or private ticket, and then you'll get help from one of our very skilled engineers. And then in the same realm as this, we have our Nordic Developer Academy, which is an online learning platform with free self-paced hands-on courses that support all of our major technologies. So cellular, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi. We don't have a DECT NR+ course yet, but I'm sure that's coming. And then, of course, we have a course for how to get started with the NRF Connect SDK. So the only thing you need for that academy is a development kit or a thingy prototyping platform. And you can go through all the lessons. There are hands-on coding exercises. And at the end, you also get a certificate that you can share on social media. So Nordic is very committed to our developers, and we offer a lot of support in the development process.
That's an incredibly comprehensive level of support, Heidi. You have all the boxes ticked there by the sound of it. So how important is the early availability of these development kits, do you think, both to building awareness of the standard and in terms of enabling the development community?
So, I mean, my view is that DECT NR+ can become for industrial IoT what Bluetooth Low Energy became for consumer electronics. So for the first time, the industrial IoT space has access to an open wireless standard that can support their needs for reliability, low latency, range, etc. There are many existing use cases that need the reliability and low latency that was previously only possible with a wired connection, but now you get that without the physical constraints of a wires because of NR+. And then one of the key differences from the consumer space is that the cycles for development are much longer in the industrial space. So for Nordic, it has been very important to kind of offer development kits very early to help build awareness around the technology, and also in the developer community to get people started developing with the NR+. And we also work very closely with Wirepass and other solution providers to help enable different use cases at an early stage. So I think this will help us better understand how to further optimize the technology to solve different use cases and how we can drive the standard forward. And then a final point is the regulatory side, because bringing a new wireless standard to the world means many questions, work, and discussions on the regulatory side. And we think early access to kits and use cases and commercial products is the key to help regulators understand the technology also from an applied angle.
And for those people out there looking to develop around DECT NR+, does Nordic intend to provide standalone silicon or complete modules?
Yeah, so we are providing our NRF91 series system in package module, which contains the system on chip, the silicon. It also contains extra components like power management IC, our front end, all in a very, very small package. And we have chosen to use modules or system in packages. I use them a bit interchangeably, but we have chosen to use system in packages that can also be used for cellular technology because they provide a faster time to market, and they're quite complex technologies that we're talking about here. But the good news is that everything we offer is done in-house, from the software stack, the system on package inside the module, the power management IC, the RF front end, it's all done by Nordic. So we do have the option to offer standalone silicon or having dedicated products with NR+ support. if we deem it necessary further down in the line, but we will assess based on how the market develops and which use cases need more optimized solution. So we have seen so far is that the preferred option regarding both cellular and DECT NR Plus development is a module or system and package. They can be regulatory pre-certified, and they remove a lot of the hardware design risk and time to market risk. So yeah, it's a common practice for cellular, Wi-Fi, and other radio standards. Yeah.
Okay. So we've already referenced Bluetooth a couple of times, and profiles were important in the early days of that marketplace. Does Nordic intend to provide profiles for different applications of DECT NR Plus?
So it's still early days for us, I would say. The standard itself offers a wide range of possibilities here. Mm-hmm. But our current focus is on providing support for the lower layers to enable a broad market. Mm-hmm. And then we will see where this goes and what level or higher level stacks and application profiles that are required later on. Okay. But there are, of course, other standardization bodies like the Connectivity Standards Alliance that can contribute to driving the development of different profiles for this technology.
Right. And how does the business model work? Do developers need to enter into licensing agreements?
From a Nordic point of view, developers do not need to require, or we do not require any licensing agreements for using our hardware or our software stack. The hardware is available to purchase through any of our distributors, and the software development kit that I will talk about later is open source. It's readily available online with courses, guides, tools to easily get started. The only exception to that is when if developers get access to non-commercial firmware, a firmware that can enable use of a radio interface outside of its regulatory approval, then we typically ask for a very basic agreement to ensure that the developer is aware of this.
Okay. So we sort of covered this at the beginning of the conversation, but just as a sort of closeout here, just run us through again the timetable for the general availability of DECT NR Plus silicon, if you would, Heidi.
Yes, so the NRF 9161 and 9131 system and packages that I mentioned in the start, they're currently in volume production right now. So general availability of DECT NR Plus hardware is actually right now. And then the NRF 9151 is also coming later this year. And the 3 devices are fully software compatible, so developers can start with the NRF 9161 development kit today, and then seamlessly move between the modules as they see fit once it becomes available.
Well, this is just fantastic. I think the DECT NR Plus marketplace is taking off very quickly indeed. Really appreciate the time you've given us today, Heidi, and looking forward to speaking to you again about DECT NR Plus in the future. Thanks very much.
Thank you.